The following excerpt is from a letter that was drafted by the revered explorer Bartholeme Trelain. The exploits of his expeditions into the fierce lands formerly known as Yeoked are still taught extensively in all Drake colonial secondary academies to this day. His personal diary reads, "The mystery of Yeoked, both the land and the people of that name, is an enigma that can never be fully understood in the lifetime of any civilized person. There has never been a more wild, lively expanse in all of my travels. Wherever I begin to put pen to paper, I attempt to adequately describe the unbridled majesty of this land, and I find no words of my own will suffice. The only words that I will stand by are the words of a displaced old wise woman from the craggy hills of Yeoked's western shores. I sat in a pitiful makeshift hut, nursing a thin clay cup of tea that they make from the hennipa plant. She gave me a proverb. She whispered it over the dying embers of her cook fire. True spirit must be born from the ground and the sea, never the sky. Spirit must take root in the heart or be sown into the flesh. With gods in the water and song on the land, we must dance with it all." Bartholeme Trelain was the son of a wealthy man. Through his family riches, he paid for numerous expeditions into snowy shores and forested cliffs of Yeoked. He wrote 16 revered volumes on a people he would never truly know. He saw their beliefs as a romantic mythology, fascinating, but obviously beneath the culture that bore him. I wish to give a brief description of these lands as I know them, or rather, as I have been taught to know them. We will start with the mighty lands of the Greenway. These are lands that begin with massive, winding cliffs on the southern borders of Yeoked. Farther north, towards the Yeoked Midlands, you will find huge labyrinths of steep hills and dense forests. Much of central Yeoked is a vast ocean of forest and snow. 3 rivers, known as the Wandering Mothers, cut through the central lands from the north and end at the cliffs to the far south. Among these lands you will find great mines of precious metals, shepherds to the great flocks of goats and domesticated Yuka, and workmen to forge and form the metal bounty of the mines. In the lands of the green there are mighty forests of duskwood and war pine trees. Duskwood is known for its capacity for bending and its pliability. It is typically cut down to be used for the making of tools and weapons. War pine is known for its strength and resilience against the elements. While there is precious little starleaf in the southern central parts of Yeoked, there is abundance of hennipa. Hennipa is a sharp-tasting berry, the color of a moonless night. If you were to take a bite of one straight off the bush, you would more than likely think that the taste was far too sour for any enjoyment. But the people of these lands have found ways to make this little berry into the finest wine and preserves you will ever like to taste. True hennipa wine, which takes years to age correctly, is of the most sought-after drink in any land. These are but a few meager parts of the incredible flora of Yeoked. Next, we will speak on the dark north and the eastern lands of Yeoked. In the center, south, and west of Yeoked lands, life abounds and is green and plentiful. In the north, life is more careful and ruthlessly fought for. Little is grown to the north, but much is hunted. To the lower mountains of the north, wild Yuka are tracked and killed in acceptable amounts. Cliff moss and mountain cotton are the most sought-after plant life, most of which are traded to the south or used for the fires. Firewood is scarce, so warmth and sustenance must be cooked over a kulik, which is a sort of fire pit carved from smooth stone, filled with dried plants and fueled by animal fats of various kinds. In the high mountains to the north, Yuka fat and meat are most common. To the bare expansive frozen shores of the Yeoked North Sea, the most common meat is kelfish and lurker. Never, in your darkest imagination, have you ever considered such a mighty animal as the lurker. It is one of the largest, fiercest beasts known to water of any land. They swim in the deeper parts of the frozen North Seas. Little is known of their own diet, other than kelfish, other lurkers, and those brave and brazen enough to swim in their waters. This great and terrible animal is what brings the most to those who live in the north. Their fat is used for fuel, their bones are used for tools, weapons, with some even large enough to be used as tent beams and stakes. Their meat is sweet and plentiful. It is said that one felled lurker can feed the largest village for an entire winter. But before any bounty can be made from these creatures, someone must first lure them to the surface, to be hunted. They have skin black as ink, smooth and soft as sin, and eyes that gleam in the deep water from even the most barest glint of the sun above. Those who live in these lands have described lurker eyes and teeth as stars from the mother. I have spoken on the lands of the Yeoked, where they walk, where they live, and the food and plants that sustain them. Please, be on the watch again for another cultural analysis. Next time, we speak of the spirits and gods that roam these lands.